Come on in.
What's going on, guys? We are in Los Gatos today, and we're going to share this beautiful project that was recently done. This was an amazing transformation. I'm here with the owner, Lindsay, and we're gonna discuss a little bit on what we did, the way it was previously and how we transitioned the space and really opened the space up and kind of created a huge island.
So Moses, I don't know if you know this, but approximately 2 years ago is when I started following you on Instagram. We had moved into this house about 3.5 years ago, and about a year into living here, we decided it was time to make a change. We had to do something different. We had to open up the space. We had to make this place long-term livable for our growing family. So when I followed your Instagram page and saw all your amazing designs, looked up your website, read your references, I decided, I need to reach out to Moses and see if he would take what technically is a bit of a smaller project and remodeling a kitchen and living area. So my girlfriends, actually a number of them follow you as well on Instagram. I compared notes with everybody, said who should I hire to do this project or who should I try to hire to do this project? And your name came up over and over again. So when I reached out, I was delighted that you first took my phone call and were so quick to respond, but then also came out to the property and really shared in the vision with this open space that we created together.
Yeah, incredible. Yeah, I mean, thank you. I love it. That's at the end of the day, that's kind of our goal is to really share what we do with our, viewers, followers, prospective clients. That's exactly kind of the goal. I want to inspire people through our work. And also, one of our goals is to, change people's life through the work that we do in their homes, obviously, right? And create, dream homes, right? Like, as small project as it might be, or, larger project for me, each project is unique. I like to get involved with the project. So it's not just about the size of the project for me personally. It's more about connecting with the people. And, I want to be myself, right? Like a lot of people, they provide service. They feel like they need to be something else, right? They have to have some kind of, a personality that is different. But I think the fact that people kind of see the real me on social and then they meet with me, it's kind of like, okay, that's the guy. I mean, you like it, you're going to work with that guy and let's make magic. And really transform your, in the end of the day, our goal is to kind of deliver something that, it's very hard to get because you have to have, the services that we provide. You have to have, 7 or 8 different individuals or different companies that provide those services, right? Between the architect or the interior designer, and of course, the selection of the fixtures and the permits and the, all those crazy stuff that's going behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. So it's cool that we can, actually help the homeowner, like you kind of, focus on all those things and you can kind of, focus on your work and you have somebody that kind of really help you with all those avenues, behind the scenes, right?
That's exactly right. And that's exactly one of the main reasons why we chose to engage with you as well. And I work full-time in investment banking. I work 80-hour weeks. I travel almost every week for work. I needed someone who could come in and own the project start to finish. And you really did that for us. It was so awesome having a one-stop shop where I made one phone call, sent one text message, and the job was basically done. I mean, of course, there was interim steps along the way, but it was very, very easy.
Like a year later, right?
A year later.
Yeah,
but we were in and out. It's been a year, exactly.
A year, right? Yeah, I think so, yeah. So,
to the day, actually, almost to the day.
For those who really wants to understand a little bit more of the process, when we meet with the homeowner for the first time, we start working on the conceptual designs, right? The concept design, it's essentially, the homeowner vision on the plan. So we take the vision, we take the needs, we take the wish list, right? We try to accommodate the budget as much as possible. But ultimately, the right way of doing that is actually not to push, for the budget from the beginning, so you can really implement all your ideas and kind of, really kind of focus on that, fulfilling the wish list. So I think, being realistic, right? Maybe, sometimes, people tell me, listen, but Moses, it's the first time they're doing it. I don't know what things cost, right? So, but I tell them, at the end of the day, it's the same thing like buying a car or buying a watch, right? You go to the lot, you're not just like looking at everything, or if you work with a realtor, you're buying a brand new home, you need to have a budget, right? You need to know, I am in the market, because the realtors, first thing the realtor is going to ask you, what's your budget? Do you want me to show you homes for 20 million, or you want me to show you homes for like 3 million? So you need to know the budget, right? So I think there is ways to, accommodate certain budget, but ultimately focus on the most important things. That's, the essential, right? For successful project. And to be effective and to have integrity, you have to really focus on just say, okay, don't sugarcoat timeline, do not sugarcoat budget. If things cost more, let's talk about it and let's see if there is any other options. But if you want to hear what you want to hear, what you like to hear, just go with someone, just talk to somebody else. Everybody is going to tell you what you want to hear. From Moses, you're going to get the reality, the truth, he said, I love to have good chemistry with my clients. It's essential for me to sleep good at night and also have, good working relationship. You don't want to work with drama and stress, so, I really like to work with people that kind of understands, where I'm coming from and where my team is coming from and know that we have the best intention for the homeowner. Like we want to make sure we provide the best service. And things cost money, timelines and so forth. Sometimes there is people make mistakes. We stand behind the projects, behind the clients. We get things done. We're never going to start a project and not finish. No matter how complicated things gets with the city sometimes, or like for example, sometimes you order custom cabinets or something like that, and things doesn't come in time, or things being shipped and you have to replace and it costs more time. But ultimately, that kind of vision for the final product, that final deliverable, which we see right now, which looks amazing, that's kind of what we're striving for from the beginning. And that's what I know from doing it for 22 years. I always know that it's not perfect yet, but we're gonna get there.
I agree with that.
Right?
And I think on that point too, on many points you just made, we had a handful of tough conversations in the first 6 weeks.
Right.
But it was really front loaded and we took a lot of time together and had all those tough conversations around design concept, budget, timeline, but we really ironed them out so early on, such that when the project was underway, everything felt so seamless and so smooth.
Now let's talk about it for a second. If you are a homeowner and you sign a contract with let's say a designer or an architect or even a builder, you are not in the position to replace people because first of all, you don't have the experience to know how things goes, if they go up or if they go down, right? It's very hard for you to tell because you don't have somebody that actually kind of that supervision, that kind of quality control implemented into the space. And that's the problem that a lot of owners, they work with individuals sometimes, right? Not all the time they work with company like us when we provide all the services. Sometimes they are an individual architectural firm or an architect or designer. But it's very complicated. If you don't like something, you already got into kind of a situation with them. For me, if I don't like something, I'll replace the person. I'm going to have a conversation with them. I'll explain to them, listen, you made a mistake over here. We'll put you on a different project. I know you've been amazing working with me for the last 10 years. But on this one, we have to put somebody else because our intention, with all due respect to my team, which I always, support and coach and everything, my fiduciary is for our clients, so my main goal is first of all to take care of the clients with all due respect to everybody else. When you have the right people on the project, my job gets easier because I feel, and also, obviously when you start those kind of projects, small or big, obviously when money involved, there is a little bit more stress, you spend a lot of money. The beginning is a little bit stressful. When you start seeing like after, a few months that things are going in the right direction, it's also, that the stress is being reduced from the homeowners.
And part of that too, it's a new relationship.
Right.
So you and I had no history together until we started working together.
Right.
So I could read referrals and read reviews, and I believed I could trust you, but I never knew that I could trust you until I was in the working relationship that we built out together over the last 18 months. So what do you think, coming back to the property now after not being here for a few months? How do you feel about how this turned out?
Yeah, honestly, it's just so kind of perfect for the space. And I think I just love, just the details, the glass cabinets and again, the slab, the type of, it's quartz, right? Mm-hmm. The quartz that we selected. And again, the transition, if you look at the green and the brown, just the color selection, you feel like peaceful in the space, mm-hmm. Which it's kind of contemporary and peaceful at the same time, which I like. And it's just very subtle, you know what I mean? Like today we do a lot of designs where people say minimalistic, it could be a $50 million home, but they say, oh, it's a minimalistic, right? So I think that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting over it. It's very rich, you know, but you know, it's kind of almost like it's got that luxury, you know, feeling, but at the same time, it's also, you know, timeless and simple, kind of in a good way, where you kind of feel like home. But yeah, I mean, I think, you know, bravo, very successful, you know, very, very happy for you guys.
I'm happy as well. No, I think one of the unintended consequences of this space and the design layout and how it came to fruition is that for the zip code we're in, this is a very modest home at 3,000 square feet, which feels silly to even say out loud, to be honest. But when you're in this living space...
It's only 3,000 square feet?
Yeah. When you're in this living space, you feel like you're in a 6 or 7 or 8,000 square foot home, because the size of this kitchen and the entertaining space would be commensurate with a real estate or a piece of real estate or a house of that size.
When we're servicing homeowners, you know, I want to make sure they really being taken care of. You know what I'm saying? And you know, part of it, again, like I said before, part of it is, you know, communication and being transparent, and just making sure they know the reality and the facts, and not just, you know, just say something because it feels good for the moment, and things change after you sign the contract and you start construction. So for me, my goal is to really kind of, for good or bad, right? Like I said, you know, for good or bad, I want to make sure that everything that's been discussed and the communication just, you know, it just perfectly from the beginning. And again, you know, sometimes you have to fix something, sometimes you have to change. I think it's always kind of the same conversation. But again, going back to that space, I think the outcome is just gorgeous. And, you know, so what your friends is telling you, by the way, because I'm sure you know, show off to your friends.
Our friends love this space. They come in, and especially people who saw our home before the remodel could not even believe it when they came into the space. Blown away, completely blown away. And they understood at first, the first impression is, wow, this island is really big. As Oscar will tell you, my son who measured it, it's 17 by 4, I think is the exact, close measurements anyways, probably within a few inches. But when you look at this space, it's the only option for the space to make it the way that we wanted it, and it could not have turned out better. So all the friends who have come through have said, this is just such an incredible use of space. You can be in different parts of the kitchen and have the kids on one side, the adults on the other side. You can be out barbecuing. We put snacks on the end of the island. We use this end of the island as our kitchen table. Can you imagine, look around, there are 2 children under the age of 10 who live here.
Oh, yeah.
Don't open any of the cabinets.
Yeah, right.
But all of their stuff can easily be tucked away, and it can be easily and transitioned from a kid space where they've been doing homework and making our projects to an adult space where we can sit down and have a cup of coffee or a glass of wine.
Yeah, no, incredible, yeah.
Cool, amazing. Thank you. Yeah, of course.
Good to see you. It was
Good to see you.
incredible.